So what's this then you've just been telling me about Donald Trump? Apparently he's getting sued now by everyone in the States for blocking them on Twitter.
Yeah, it was in the news the other day. So people are getting really annoyed that he's blocking. And I know your life's greatest ambition is to get blocked by Donald Trump.
See, the thing is he doesn't strike me as the blocking type, the Donald. I think he sort of revels in all the fact that he gets loads of attention and gets loads of tweets and loads of abuse that come his way. So I wouldn't even imagine him to be sat there in the White House while he's putting his Fox News tweets up and his usual nonsense to be blocking away. But he has started blocking people now,
He's been blocking people, yeah, and basically because it's America and the Americans do love to sue people, they are suing him for, it's under the Freedom of Speech Act, basically, saying that they should be allowed to tweet him wherever they want.
Part of the amendment or something like that, is it?
It's in the Constitution.
So why hasn't he blocked me then so far?
Obviously you're not mean enough to him.
You know what, I think I really need to up the ante again, because a few weeks ago when that Paris Accord deal, when he opted out of that, I really laid into him and my fume levels reached new highs. But I did back off a bit because I know that you find it funny. And a lot of your friends do. But people who were close to me were saying, Jeff, you know what, I think you need to calm down a bit now. All you're tweeting about is Donald Trump and ranting about the environment.
But so you gave it to peer pressure. Maybe if you'd maintained that level of abuse,
I know.
you'd be blocked by now and you could be suing the Trump.
I've got to be true to myself. I've got to launch, as you say, another sustained attack on Donald.
Shock and awe.
Yeah, I did start over the weekend because he's over in Paris at the moment, isn't he? He's visiting that. What's the guy's name?
Macron.
Who's absolutely brilliant. Whenever I see him, he's always got a smile on his face, or he's always doing something quite cool. He was doing a video the other week with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I see which was doing the rounds online. But basically, there's a state visit over there of the Donald, and they had their band playing. It was a medley of Daft Punk, wasn't it?
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
And I was watching the video, and it was they're playing the greatest hits, their official sort of military band of Daft Punk, and it was just sounded fantastic, and it kept flashing from him, who was like tapping his feet, and he was made up.
He loved it, didn't he?
The band who were clearly enjoying themselves, to Donald just sat there with this feckin' sour face look, like trout pout thing on the go. And I'm thinking, how can he not be enjoying this? To be fair to him, the Donald, though, at the end of it, he did jump up and he was clapping away. But as I pointed out on Twitter, the only thing that could make this even better now is if one of the band members walk up to Donald and shove a trumpet up his arse. Poetic justice, that would be. They didn't do it, though, unfortunately. So maybe but I think Trump might find humour in that one, so maybe I do need to... but you know what'll happen, don't you? You'll just report me and I'll get removed from Twitter. I don't know why am I so obsessed with starting a war with the leader of the free world? But to be totally honest, I don't think he's going to be lasting much longer with all the controversy that's happened this week, because have you seen the stuff with Eric? Or is it Eric Trump or is it Donald Trump Jr.? I don't know. It's his son anyway, basically.
Was this with the Russians?
Yeah, the emails has got and the best part of it was because the New York Times have been working on this article for like months and months to uncover all these emails. The nitwit then just releases them all himself on his Twitter feed, showing conversations with them saying we've got dirt on Hillary. Oh, I'd love that. Are you stupid, mate? And he's going, I've not done nothing wrong because I didn't go in the end. Yeah, but you were plotting it. My God, for a family that's made so much money, they are fucking stupid sometimes.
Money can't buy you common sense.
No, it really, really can't. So I think before, we know it, we could get rid of the Donald and the Donald could be no more. And then we could have a new president over the United States of America. And this week as well, I don't know if you noticed, The Rock has trademarked
yes,
Run for Rock 2020.
I know. I'm sorry, I'm really excited about this. And I'm going to apply for the job to oil his muscles. That's my dream job in the world.
I'm sure there's quite a waiting list for that job at the moment. I'm even on that as well. To oil the Rock's muscles.
I love him.
I don't think Donald Trump for a minute would allow himself to be impeached. I think he'd walk before he was pushed.
Yeah, definitely.
He'd do some rant, and it would be in fact, it'd be like some sort of like scene from a movie where he'd go on some massive rant live on Fox News and then do a mic drop moment and just walk off. He'd go on his terms. He wouldn't let anyone else shove him out the door. He'd probably refer to America as the failing America and end up going to be president somewhere like Hungary
Mexico.
or something. Yeah, that'd be the irony, wouldn't it?
Jump over the wall.
These guys have shown me grit. But wouldn't it be great if it did get to the time where Donald Trump has to resign and they just... Because I think just put The Rock in now.
Yeah.
No one could do a worse job than him. I mean, the man's been a clown. Whoever you put in there is going to be a slight improvement on the Donald. But while he's doing his speech, just before he gets to the end, out of nowhere, The Rock goes back to his wrestling persona and just drop kicks him out the way. And then that's it. He's there with his eyebrow twitching away, and we've got a new president.
Just on that fact, I only learnt last week that The Rock used to be a wrestler. I didn't know he was a wrestler.
You joking?
No.
How would you not know that?
I don't know how I don't know that, but I didn't. But now I do.
Did you think he was born The Rock?
Well, he's Dwayne Johnson, isn't he?
I know. I still can't believe.
And he looks like he's built like a rock. So.
I still can't believe to this day that he actually has dropped the name The Rock and he refers to himself as Dwayne Johnson now. Because Dwayne is just the worst name ever.
I can't hear that name without thinking of Dwayne Dibley.
Not only is The Rock a wrestler, and he still wrestles now from time to time.
Oof.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
His dad was a wrestler, and I was going to say his uncle, but it's his grandfather was a wrestler as well.
Wow.
Yeah,
so he's like Rock Jr.?
He's third generation, yeah.
Wow.
There was High Chief Peter Maivia, there was Rocky Johnson, and then there was
Dwayne.
yeah, Dwayne, who for a while was known as Rocky Maivia, but now he went to The Rock, and now he's Dwayne Johnson.
Okay.
The Dwayne, that's what he'd be called.
The Dwayne.
I'll have to lend you some of my DVDs.
Oh, you're all right. No,
I've got his back catalogue.
It's fine.
You sure?
Fine. I'm quite happy just watching him.
He's oiled up though, and he's in a pair of little. He's in a little pair of bloody white. I was going to say white fronts.
Don't stand up
What
and
are they
do that
called?
gesture.
Trunks. That's it. He's in a pair of.
Okay.
Just think Duncan Goodhue in the Olympics all them years ago, but The Rock, those type of trunks.
Maybe I will borrow some DVDs.
What an erotic image that is. Just think of Duncan Goodhue all those years ago. His wet, sweaty body, bald features. Now move it towards The Rock. Nice. Oh, you're thinking about this as well?
I'm thinking about this far too much.
Are you thinking of the Duncan Goodhue part or The Rock?
The Rock, I've got a weekend off next weekend. Can I borrow them, please?
Yeah.
Shutting the curtains. Don't touch me. Don't bother me.
Pass me the baby oil. This is for when The Rock turns up, by the way. Just leave me with the DVDs. Oh, by the way, we're 7 minutes into the show here, and I haven't even announced or mentioned why we weren't here last week. I had a bloody nightmare last week. We were supposed to be on. There was supposed to be an episode of Chasing 40, but I was stuck in Cardiff. Couple of reasons I was stuck in Cardiff. One was that I got up a little bit later because I'd been out enjoying the local delicacies.
Yep.
When I say local delicacies, I just drank lager all day long. I went in Gareth Bale's bar on last Saturday. Do you know who Gareth Bale is?
Oh, I thought...
Welsh fella, looks like a monkey.
Yeah, the footballer. For a minute, I thought you meant Gareth Gates.
No.
I don't know why.
I went in his bar, and I'm like, because he plays for Real Madrid, he's an international footballer, and it's like £150,000 a week. I'm saying to people in there, why is he opened a pub in Cardiff?
Oh, they all do it though, don't they?
But I think it's just one of them license thing, where they just license his name.
Yeah.
I said, does he come in here often? He went, funny enough you should say that. He came in here last week. I said, oh, so he does? He went, no, that was the first time he's been in. He literally came in, said hello, and got off.
Didn't pay his bill either.
I said, well, how did all his shirts get him? We don't know. But he lives in Madrid, doesn't he? Plays for Real Madrid, so it's not like really it's a local where he can pop in for the quiz every Thursday night. But one thing I will say about Gareth Blood and Bale's bar, the alcohol in there was crap. Really? It was a horrible pint of lager. I just went in there.
It wasn't Bud Light, was it not?
No, it wasn't Bud Light, and I was fuming. It was Carlin, and it was horrible. It was one of those, where you don't blum and clean it. It tasted like they hadn't cleaned the pumps.
Oh.
That's my views. No one else's. I'm sure everyone else thought it was a great place. Moonwalk out of that one. But yeah, I was in there admiring all his memorabilia that he had up on the wall and checking it out. And yeah, I had a weekend in Cardiff. Well, I had the Saturday, got there on the Saturday, and my stay was extended because I got up a little bit later than I should have done. And the other thing was, there was a blooming bike race on to the feckin' road that I was going out of Cardiff. I couldn't get out of till gone one. So there's nothing worse than being, stuck there with a hangover. It was boiling hot, and a load of bikes in front of me. So that was why there was no episode of Chasing 40 last week. But we're back now.
Hello.
So there we go. All is well. And you've just got a nice little 10-minute rant about Donald Trump and Gareth Bale. There's two people now. Donald Trump could probably sue me. It's somewhere on the line for the stuff I say to him. And Gareth Gates, I was going to say then, Gareth Bale. Can Gareth Gates even afford a bar?
Harsh.
Hey, keeping on the subject of sport, I had a sporting extravaganza that I took part in this week.
Yes.
And this, the whole concept of this podcast when we started this was us heading towards the age of 40 and getting old. And as one review on one website said, two people struggling to come to terms with their place in life at the moment.
I'm quite happy with my place.
No, that was slightly harsh.
Very?
No, we know our place. Well, I don't know at the moment. I don't even know where I am or what I'm doing. But yeah, I felt really old because I took part in a school sports day, and it was the first time I took part in a school sports day since like the 80s or something.
Yeah.
But I took part as a parent, and that was really, really weird.
Was it dead competitive?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's you, so yes, it's going to be
I'll get
competitive.
onto that in a minute because I came second in one of the parent races, and I'm still demanding the man is tested for peds. And he's a cheat. But we'll move on to that in a minute. I've got photographic evidence. I'll show you the photographic evidence. But you'll see it from the off. He's like way ahead of me. But anyway, I'll move on to that. I was a bit concerned though going into it because it was so long since I'd done a school sports thing. If you remember when we were kids, it was like the three-legged race, wasn't it? The
Chuck
sack
a bean
race.
bag.
Yeah, stuff like
Egg
that.
and spoon. See if you can cheat.
But I'm thinking the way technology's moved on and the way kids are these days, would they be interested in that? So I'm going into this thinking, what is it like? Is it going to be like a sort of iPad on a spoon race, or there'll be one where we all have to sit in the field and whoever can send the quickest WhatsApp message? I don't know. The way times have moved on, things have changed. But when I got there, I was so glad to see that they had all the traditional games.
Oh, did they?
So there was a sprint for the kids. There was a three-legged race. There was no sack race though. I don't know if that's something to do with. I meant to ask them.
I reckon that's health and safety.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
But
Ruins everything.
But I was thinking that, then I thought, well, maybe the three-legged race. That's another bit of an iffy one. There was the wheelbarrow race, which I'd forgotten about.
Oh, I used to love that one.
Yeah, and then there was like toss the beanbag thing,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, and a couple of others. But my little girl, her team came second, the yellow team.
Oh.
But the yellow team of parents, oh yeah, won. But we didn't get a bloody medal.
Why?
No medal for the parents.
Why?
Because he just said you're adults and you're just taking part in it for
Well,
the
no,
fun.
you've won.
No, I know. But I was there to compete. But
Was it one of these though? Did all the kids get a medal?
all the kids got a medal, yeah.
Even if they didn't win?
Yeah. I don't agree with that.
No, neither do I.
Even
you should have
though-
gone round and took the medals off the kids who didn't win so you all could have a medal.
Well, I said this at the start of it, and one of the other parents looked at me in utter disgust when I said it. So this better not be one of them events where even if they lose, they get medals. And then I got a lecture. No, that's the right way to do it.
Why?
Because they're learning it's all about competition and friendliness with their colleagues.
Not about winning.
Then when they go to the next sports day, that's when it's about the winning. I was like, nah. They need to learn from an early age. But I took it really, as you know, I'm quite competitive with anything that I take part in. So I was taking it really seriously, including giving some pep talks. I was the only parent who was going up to my little one's only 4. I'm going up to her, and it was because it's her last year at nursery. It was the first time they let the nursery kids get involved in the school sports day. So all the other ones are just happy to see their kids take part. Me, I'm over there rubbing Emily's shoulders, going, "Come on, you can do this," psyching her up. The eye of the tiger, we've got to get down there, we've got to do this, giving her little tips on how to cheat, basically. Especially with the ring on the head where you've got to balance it. I was like, look, what you move off straight from the off, the ring, make sure the ring's balancing, it's going to move, you grab it and then just run. They won't say anything because at least you've made an effort. And she's like, yes, daddy. She did as well. She won.
That's hilarious.
Yellow team won. Another 10 points for the yellows. But the first parents race was a sprint.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't really dressed, and you'll see this. I'll put the picture up on the Twitter feed at Chasen_40. So if you look for the link for this week's show, you'll see it on there. I wasn't really dressed for the sprint. I was in a shirt, jeans, and some shoes. I wanted to look cool. I wanted to live up to my showbiz image. So anyway, everyone else is like, when I got there, like some of them are like proper like sweatbands, shorts, trainers.
No way.
So I thought, I'll walk this, no problem whatsoever. There was 3 false starts, right, in the first race. I had to stop myself from swearing because I was getting angry. The one who won, I came second. He cheated. I know he cheated. I've got the picture.
Did he cheat though?
Yeah, he was like off. Because I think at the end, the teachers had just gone, we're sick of this. We've got to move on with it. 3 false starts. The 4th one, just let it go. But look at the picture. You'll see him way ahead. And there's no way he got there that
Maybe
quick.
he just made the perfect start.
He didn't. I made the perfect start.
Is that just?
And I'm
because
legit.
you?
I'm legitimate. Yeah, he might have had a slight advantage because I think he had trainers on, whereas I had the sort of like smart shoes. But no, I'm not having it. Something was going on there. I demand the International Olympic Committee or whoever they are get involved and get some samples of some of the athletes in that, because it wasn't just that race. There was other races. I saw stuff going on. That wheelbarrow race, hang on. Them arms on one of them.
Did parents have to do the wheelbarrow race?
Oh, yeah, you had to do everything.
Really?
Yeah. I thought the toss the sack in the ring thing. Oh, God. That one on after hours. But,
Throwing a beanbag.
yeah. That was a little bit unfair
Why?
to the parents, because the kids one was like just in front. like, you know, was really close. It's like the other side of the field.
Aye, but you're like 5 times bigger than the kids.
Bloody Jeff Capes doing a shot put would have struggled with that one.
I could have done that.
Oh, yeah?
In the shot put.
You know what? I should have took you.
I could have been your super sub.
I could have done. And I'm like, you know, because you have to sort of do it with another parent and all that. And like, so I'm taking it super thick, going, oh, it's such a nice day. I'm going, shut up, you. We've got to win. None of this, like, taking part. It's not in my vocabulary.
Go big or go home.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting 7 days for me. How about yourself, anyway, Bec? What have you anything? Actually, you know what? I do know what you're going to say now because you're holding on to it, and I can see the look of disappointment in your eyes when I first walked in here.
I've been had over by my niece and nephew, I think.
Because on the last episode, you were talking about the demise of the fidget spinner.
Yeah.
And your niece and nephew would advise you that it's no longer that. Is it the fidget cube?
The fidget cube.
I did say, you know, when you showed me the picture, I don't think that looks that exciting.
Well, you know, you've got to go with what the kids tell you, haven't you? And, you know, I'd only just spent a fortune on new fidget spinners for my niece and nephew, and they kindly told me that was last season. You've got to get yourself a fidget cube. So promptly went on Amazon, other online stores available, and got myself a fidget cube. And I have to say, yeah, I feel very let down by it.
Have you been using it?
Well, I do that bit a bit.
I think, to be totally honest, though, with this, you just can't make your mind up. So you've got your little... Is that
So there's like, the top bit's a joystick thing.
Oh.
So as if you're on a Xbox controller. Then this side moves... That's nice. I like playing with that one. It's like a little spinny turntable thing.
They're just buttons.
They're buttons to press. 2 of them are silent, so you can fidget in peace if you're at school. Then there's like a light switch one. Then this side, they're like little gears that turn. I thought they'd be a bit more pleasing.
Yeah.
And that ball's nice. It's nice to play with that ball. You can either push it in or you can roll it round under your thumb.
No.
I quite like that bit.
Too much going on for me on that particular
But you
one.
sit and I spend, it's like Netflix, you know, you sit for like 5 hours trying to decide what you want to watch.
Yeah.
I spend like half an hour going, what should I play with?
So are you telling me then that the fidget spinner is still the thing and the fidget cube?
I'm sticking with me spinner.
So take that off your Christmas list then. There you
Yeah.
go. All the latest tech gadgets reviewed right here on Chasing 40. How are your injuries doing, by the way? Because you fell down the stairs, didn't you?
Do you know what? I've battled so many injuries the last couple of weeks. It's lucky that I'm still sat here alive. I put my back out sneezing in the shower.
Do you know what, though? This is what you get for laughing at me falling in the 70s bar. This, my love, is called karma.
But yeah, I've had loads of cuts and bruises and bumps, but then Thursday night, now where I live, to get down into my flat, you've got to come down some quite steep outside steps.
Yeah, it's like something from the blooming Temple of Doom.
I've come up and down those steps. I moved in here in February, and I've been up and down those steps in various states of drunkenness and sobriety, in ridiculously high heels. I've never come a cropper. Thursday, had a couple too many drinks. I was in like low-heeled boots, and I just went arse over tit.
So how many steps were you from the bottom before you went down?
I was halfway.
Halfway? And this, honestly, because it's the basement flat what Bec is in, it's quite a... in fact, I'm going to count them now. Like 14 steps.
But the weirdest thing is, right, and thankfully I've got padding on my backside, quite a bit of it. So I think I must have done most of it there.
Yeah.
But the injuries that have been sustained don't match up with what happened. So my shin is all bruised, but it's in like a big circle, and the middle bit of it where it really hurts, there's nothing there, which is weird. But I've pulled a muscle in my armpit as well, and I can't... How stupid is that? It should be like my backs and my legs and my bum.
Well, maybe you've done something else as well. Maybe when you got in, you just fell flat on your face. Did you wake up in the doorway at all?
I woke up on the settee, still fully dressed, with my quilt over me, and I have no idea how that happened.
Oh, there's nothing worse. The thing is, at least there was no one there to see it. I remember when I fell down escalators going into the underground station in Liverpool, and I literally was halfway down. I remember it now, every single moment of it. I was jogging down to get the train because I wanted to make it, and I wasn't even bevied. I'd had a couple of drinks, but there was nowhere near a state I was in that I could blame it on the alcohol. So sort of, a brisk jog down the stairs, down the escalators as they're going down, and I just remember my knee going out, and it was like something from like an action movie. I'd fly down, do like this toss, and I remember my wrist clipping the escalator, which they're quite hard, and then I did this other turn and like rolled over at the bottom, and it just jumped up. And there was like screams, because people were like, "Oh my God, are you all right?" And I just looked at my arm, and my wrist was snapped. So I went, grabbed hold of it, held it together, and went, "Yeah, I'm fine," and then walked down the rest of the escalators. I remember sat there waiting for the train, and I was in so much pain. By the time I got on the train, people are going to me, "Are you sure you're all right?" And I'm sweating, going, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm going, my wrist snapped the wrist.
I can't believe that.
So I then got off the train and got a taxi to the hospital. Lady told me basically the obvious: you've snapped it. You need to stay in overnight, and you'll get surgery in the morning. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go home, so I'll just come back at 6 because they couldn't fit me in. Big mistake. Anyway, I go back there at 6 in the morning and all strapped up. My surgery got cancelled, so I did what any injured patient would do. I just went out on the ale for the day. My arm strapped up, and then went back there the next day and got it fixed. So it was a happy ending. So I wasn't drunk when I fell over, but probably going into the surgery. Yeah. I know this is that nil by mouth thing, but
that's food, isn't it?
Yeah, food. Pints of lager. I'm cool with that one. So yeah, at least no one saw you. That's the good thing.
Yeah, it was. It was dark and cold and lonely.
It's lucky. Yeah, the thing is though, it's lucky that you managed to bounce yourself back up and get yourself in, because that could have been the moment where I'm finding you now. Oh my God! Well, let's say that your neighbour might have seen you.
He probably just would have walked over us, to be honest. I don't think I'm the quietest when I come in after a few drinks.
There she is again. She's looking a bit blue there. Those flies round there. Oh my God, actually, she's been here for a week. Well, I've just realised, actually, this weekend's an exciting one for you, isn't it? Because it's the British Grand Prix.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh my God, you didn't know, did you?
Do you know what? I thought it was next weekend, but you're right, it is this weekend. Oh, amazing. What a weekend then. So it's Wimbledon finals and the British Grand Prix. I don't have enough TV screens.
I haven't seen any of Wimbledon so far. Is Andy Murray still in it?
No, he's back to being Scottish.
Oh, well, I'll leave it till next year then.
And Joanna Connor's back to being Australian because she went out as well.
I don't even know who she is. Is she
She was British until she got knocked out in the quarterfinals.
Right, okay.
And now she's Aussie
again. So who's in the final then?
Roger Federer and Marin Cilic.
So as we speak right now, then that will have happened because this will be going out Sunday night.
Roger Federer, who's 34, and in the women's finals is a woman whose name I can't pronounce, and Venus Williams, who's 37. Doing it for the oldies.
Yeah, still kicking around. Roger Federer, 34 though, is not. Although I don't know, for a tennis player, it is that old.
Yeah. Well, Andy Murray reckons he's knackered, isn't he? 'Cause his hip was playing up and stuff.
He's only in his 20s,
I know. But there will be one British winner of Wimbledon, because in the doubles, which no one takes any notice of, Heather Watson's on one team and Jamie Murray, Andy's brother's on the other team. So there will be at least one British winner.
Right, okay. So at least we'll have some success.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say at least we'll have some success. The last 4 years, then that'll be another winner, won't it, really? Because Andy Murray, we went on for years and years about, we need to find this British winner at Wimbledon. We haven't had one for years. And now, every other year, we seem to get one. So, yeah, a good sporting weekend. The reason I mentioned the British Grand Prix, because I went to it a couple of years ago. And I know you're mad into your Formula One. I didn't realise how obsessed people were with Formula One in this country till I actually went to the British Grand Prix. For me, it was wasted on me, because as soon as I got my cap, my free hat, the novelty quickly wore off.
See, this is again, you go to Harry Potter land. It's not right. You shouldn't be allowed to go if you're not a fan.
Do you know what? I need to dig it out, the cap, and I can give it to you as a gift. That would make up for it. So then, if you ever do get a chance to go to the British Grand Prix, you've got a hat, because that's the one thing I noticed. If you don't have a cap at a Grand Prix, you don't fit in.
Yeah.
I thought caps went out of fashion years ago. I thought they went out with the bum bags.
Snapbacks, they're called now.
Snapbacks?
Snapbacks, not a baseball cap as we used to call them.
Is that, though, the ones that they're like... Because baseball caps for me were the one, that was slightly bent over.
You can bend them yourself, don't you?
Now I see like rappers and all that, and they're flat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that why they're called snapbacks? Or?
No, it's because it's got the snap on the back, hasn't it?
Oh, you're
when
joking.
You measure your head.
Oh, there you go, again. Terminology wasted on me. I'm
guessing that, by the way. I don't really know.
I just thought it was just the word they give for it.
Yeah,
hey, look at my snapback.
It snaps at the back, doesn't it? It's got like the poppers.
I suppose it
like
does.
A fidget cube on the back.
that I've become obsessed with over the past couple of weeks, and I meant to mention this to you when we last caught up. Justin Bieber.
Oh, are you a believer?
No, I'm not a believer. I'm just fascinated with his world and how he gets up to things and what he gets up to.
Oh, I love him.
Because every single day he just seems to do something absolutely ridiculous. Now, as a bloke, especially around this time of the year, first thing I do when I wake up, because it's transfer window season for the football, and I'm a massive Everton fan, I go into Google and I type Everton and see if we've been linked with any players.
You don't need anyone else.
The next, I know we're buying the world. The next thing I do after that is I type in Justin Bieber, because he gives me so much material. Being on the radio 5 days a week, you need stuff to talk about, and I play Justin Bieber quite a bit. So I've always got a guaranteed stupid Justin Bieber story to talk about.
What's he been up to?
What's he been up to?
I only see pictures of him without his top on playing football, which is delightful.
Well, where do I start with Justin Bieber? He's looking, you're a believer, you love Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
He's looking for a wife at the moment, did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
He's decided at the age of 23 he wants to settle down. Only one problem, you've got to be Australian.
G'day.
Oh no, the thing is as well, that wouldn't work, just doing
No.
that. Or turning up with your birth certificate saying I'm Australian. You've got to get through a vetting process that one of his mates has put in place. He's asked one of his mates to hold like auditions to find him the perfect Australian
This is
wife.
a great idea,
He's
though.
just decided to himself. He was over in Australia while he was on tour, and he thought, you know what? I like Aussie girls. I want one, but he didn't want to go out. Yeah, he didn't want to go out and meet one somewhere, or go and get on Tinder or something like that.
You can't when you're Justin Bieber.
No, he gets one of his mates to whittle them all down and present a load in front of him. And then there was the time a few days ago where he dressed as Luigi from the Super Mario Brothers. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, that happened as well.
I'm still Googling that.
I don't know if he meant to do that intentionally, but basically there's him with the big boots, the green dungarees, the cap on. And straight away, you know what it's like with the world of Twitter and Facebook these days. No one misses a trick within like minutes of him walking around dressed like that. They were like, right, there we go, Justin Bieber, Super Mario Brother.
He wasn't actually in fancy dress.
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
Just type into Twitter, you'll find pictures of that. Or there's the time where he was getting shoes thrown at him on stage in Sweden. Did you know about that?
No.
He can't sing that song. He stopped singing that Despacito. And you know what?
He sings like Burrito or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he did it in a club, right? And he messed it all up. So that's what he did. He started singing about burritos, and he had a bit of a joke and a laugh about it. But afterwards, he learned his lesson and thought, you know what? It's not my native tongue. I'm not even going to try this again. So he goes to Sweden. He's at like some concert. I think it was a festival over there. And they start screaming for Despacito. There's videos of this. And he's on stage going, look, guys, I don't know the words. I'll just mess it up. Bottles and shoes start getting thrown at him.
Oh, that's harsh.
Honestly, I follow Bieber on a daily basis. That man's keeping me going. He's giving me so much material.
Oh, I feel really sorry for him.
But who was there? There was someone who had that was it as well. This week, someone decided they'd had enough of Bieber and they were going to, because especially it was this Despacito, he seems to be getting so many problems off the back of this song. Someone decided that they were going to launch a campaign against him on Twitter. It was the Despacito boycott party. That's what they called themselves. And they were aimed at sort of spreading bad words about Justin because he's refusing to sing Despacito. Oh. The problem they had, though, the dickheads misspelled boycott and only put the one T on there. So straight away, you know what the believers are like. Yeah. They're like a bearded military. They come from the hills and absolutely hammered the Despacito boycott party. Well, this is the thing. I could go on. I could probably do a whole podcast
just on Bieber.
Just on Justin Bieber.
I could too, but very different subject matter. Very different.
Hey, but moving on from Justin Bieber, talking of me wanting to be sort of, I say down with the kid. When I don't even know why I say that, because I sound even older than I am. I'm only 36. I'm not, actually, no, I'm 26. Come on, Jeff, you're letting it slip, old age. Edit that bit out. But obviously being on, I was going to say FM radio, I'm not even on FM radio, I'm on DAB radio. I don't even know, look, I'm losing my mind. And playing a lot of the tunes that are around at the moment, like Justin Bieber, I need some content and I need stuff to talk about that is relatable to the audience. So I thought to myself, I'm up on Bieber now. I know everything that's going on in the world of Bieber. I need to get on to the TV around at the moment. What are the big TV shows? And I was looking out there, and the thing that I see the most people talking about is Love Island. Have you seen any of Love Island so far?
No. I don't really like reality TV. I just find it all a bit... It does me head in.
Well, Love Island, I remember watching it was Celebrity Love Island, wasn't it? And this is like...
It's been going for years, hasn't it? But all of a sudden it's become like super popular.
Well, the only time I watched it was because it was Lee Sharp was on there, and I'm sure Abby Titmus was on it. And the reason I watched it on this Celebrity Love Island was because I was interviewing Abby Titmus, heir of John Leslie fame, yes. I wouldn't advise Googling that unless you're over the age of 18. And she was lovely, by the way, when I did interview her. But I hadn't watched it since, and I just assumed that it disappeared. But everywhere I go, every person I hear sort of having a conversation about TV, it's about Love Island. And I'm starting to get to that point. And I even said this on the radio through the week where I'm feeling left out. It's like one of those water cooler type things, you know, where wherever you go or someone having a cup of coffee, did you see Love Island last night? And I hear all the names, but I don't know anything about it.
Isn't there someone from Blazing
There
Squad?
is,
Now,
yeah.
the only reason I know that is because Philip Schofield on This Morning yesterday, while I was nursing a hangover and bruised leg, was given a T-shirt that said, I used to be in Blazing Squad.
I think that's what he mentions, all from what I can gather, because that was the first thing I did was when I was trying to get some investigation. I needed some ammunition so I could try and interject and get involved in one of these conversations, you know, to be in with the cool kids, because that's what I feel like at the moment. I'm like one of those kids at school, you know, one of the outside groups.
Yeah.
You know, all the cool ones who are having the chat, and you try and walk over and go, hey, what's going on? They go, get away, you dweeb. That's what it's like for me with Love Island at the moment. So I did some research, and I found out Marcel, his name was in the Blazing Squad. He was one of the 470 members of the Blazing Squad.
I've been on stage with Blazing Squad. I loved them. I thought they were world class.
Can you remember Marcel?
No, there was too many of them. I can't remember any of them.
Where was that when you were on stage with the
That was
Blazing Squad?
in New Brighton.
Was it?
It was the Wirral show. Yeah.
Was that before I arrived at that radio station, or was I there?
No, it was before.
I have to ask these things because I can never remember. The amount of times I meet someone, even like pop stars, and they go, yeah, I remember, I met you years ago. I'm like, did you?
Yeah, so we had Blazing Squad and Abs from 5.
Oh, what an all-star lineup.
It was delightful.
But I tell you what, that will have been, what, is that early noughties?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, will
so
it
the
be?
Blazing Squad were quite relevant then, weren't they?
Oh, no, they were proper famous at the time. Well, as famous as they ever got. It was their peak.
We had 100,000 people there. It was massive.
And that was just them.
What was the song they sung?
Oh, God.
Was it Crossroads? Or
Yeah.
something
See
like
you
that?
at the crossroads.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Crossroads.
How do I
Did
remember
they do
that?
21 Seconds as well?
No,
Or
that was a So
something
Solid
else?
Crew.
Oh, right.
I can see why you're getting confused there, because there was 470 members of the Blazing
Yeah.
Squad. There was 15,000 members of the So Solid Crew. So you're just thinking of a group where there's like
There's a lot.
a football pitch full of people.
Pretty much.
But anyway, so I did some research to find out that Marcel was actually in the Blazing Squad, and I thought I'd use that. So I said to someone very close to me, I said, Love Island, that Marcel from the Blazing Squad's in there. And she just went, yeah, everyone knows that. And then turned away and carried on the conversation. So I was like, oh, God. So I ended up thinking to myself, you know what, I'm not going to try that trick again. I'm just gonna go in and ask there. So I said, Fee, you're going to have to tell me about this Love Island thing. I need to know all about it, because I'll be able to talk about it on the radio as well, so it'll help me out with that. So I said, just give me anything, because I can hear you talking about it every single day. I see people talking about it online. You love the show, you know, you're engrossed with that. I see you putting stuff on Twitter and all that. I said, Fee, just tell me something so I can go and I can do a link about it on the radio. And she looked at me and went, no, you wouldn't understand. You've got to have watched it. And I was like, well, just anything. Come on, you surely just give me a synopsis. No. If you've not seen it, I'm not, because you're just going to go and you're going to take me material and you're going to use it and pass it off as your own on the radio. I'm not giving you it. I'm like, I'm begging her in the end. They're like, just give me something. No, I'm not going to do it. If you want to find out about it, you'll have to watch it. There's only a week left.
She's like your Love Island dealer. Please just give me something.
But it got to a point where I'm looking at her going like, what the is this, like Fight Club or something, that Brad Pitt thing? The first rule of Love Island Club: nobody talks about Love Island Club. She still won't tell me.
Really? So,
I've even told this blooming story on the radio across the Northwest, and no one will tell me about Love Island.
well, maybe just watch it.
So no one would help me. I haven't got the time. I did make a vow on Friday morning on one of the breakfast shows that I was doing, that I was gonna get home. I was gonna go to my kid's sports day, and then round about 4:00, I was gonna watch Love Island all the way through until Sunday afternoon to try and catch up on it. But
Life's too short.
I just can't win. I just can't win with Love Island. So I don't know if anyone out there wants to send me some. But by the way, a tweet won't be enough. It will need to be an in-depth report, and I'll need it by about Wednesday, so I can then talk about it before the end of the show.
If you could do a full-scale dissertation and email it across, that would be delightful.
But this is the problem. It's easy if people say to me, "Oh, just watch it, go away and watch it." Like I know I'm like, oh yeah, here he is again with his violins out. I literally haven't got the time. I barely have time to sleep at the moment. Bec's already played counsellor to me this morning when I turned up at her house at like 7 a.m. going, I haven't slept for 3 weeks. But But remember the last podcast that we did? You sent me a challenge to actually watch the Harry Potter movie. You were going to test me.
You've not.
This is how bad it's got.
They
Right.
show them every Saturday morning.
I listened to a trailer when I was in the car, but then my phone went. Someone rung me, so I literally heard like from Universal Pictures, and then that was it. My phone went and it was gone. So the Harry Potter test will have to wait. We can do that another week. Hey, talking of things that will have to wait. One thing I was actually, because we mentioned a little bit earlier on about the British Grand Prix, but we just haven't got the time to fit it in on this podcast. I wanted to play a little clip or play an interview of when I caught up with Murray Walker, who was the voice of British Motorsport. I thought that'd be quite a treat. I'll tell you what, actually, we'll play a little clip of it now.
And watch the lights and it's go, go, go!
Oh, yes! Murray, what have you been up to since the end of your commentating career?
I haven't stopped living. I've just stopped doing all the Grand Prix because, to be honest, it's enormously tiring if you're doing 18 or 19 events a year and 8 of them are long-haul ones to places like Japan and China. And I didn't stop because I wanted to stop. I stopped because I thought it was time I did.
And no disrespect to the guy doing it now, but he's not Murray Walker.
Well,
and it doesn't work for me.
I mean, it would. Thank you. It's very nice of you to say so. It was and is my passion. I've been involved with motorsport all my life, and there's nothing I like more than talking about it. And when you're doing so in an exciting environment like I was doing, the adrenaline pours out of you by the bucketful, and you're totally involved with it. And I just loved trying to convert people to what interested me.
Now, do you often find yourself, Murray, now when you're sitting around the house, because you're not commentating full time these days, do you commentate on random things that happen around the house, like the cat will walk in?
No,
there he goes!
Not really. Here comes my breakfast, and look, it's cornflakes again.
If you want to hear the full version of that one, if you're into your motorsport, you can check out the link right now to this show, wherever you're listening, on SoundCloud, you're listening on YouTube, on iTunes. You'll see in the link that'll be a direct one. You can hear the full interview, which is available online right now. He? Yeah, he's just lovely.
Yeah.
I still, even though now he must be about 106, I still want him to commentate. I still want him to do it.
I still, when I watch when the race starts and the lights go off, I still go, 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 go.
Well, he just said that there on the clip. That's him talking about his breakfast as well. But anyway, there was that, and there was loads of other stuff that we did want to get through on this episode, but it'll just have to wait now until next week. We've got to be on our way. So have yourself a great week. We'll catch up with you next time. As I mentioned, remember, if you do want to check out previous episodes or subscribe to us, you can find out. In fact, actually be quick if you like listening on SoundCloud. We've read the story this week that SoundCloud might be shutting down in a couple of months. So you might have to sort of move your camp over to the YouTube one or just on iTunes. But you can find us in many, many places online right now on YouTube. Just search Chasing40. You'll find us on Channel 29 on there. You'll find us on SoundCloud. Same thing again, search Chasing40. Or if you go to iTunes, you go in the store there, search Chasing40. All the episodes are available instantly right now for you to download and listen at your leisurely pace. Have a great week. We'll catch you next time.